What is your name?
My name is Kristina Thomas.
Kristina, where are you from?
I'm from Oakland, California, specifically East Oakland, California.
Why do you have to be specific? Like, what's the difference?
Because I feel like a lot of people who are from the Bay Area, specifically Oakland, you can't just say, hey, I'm from Oakland. Because if you're from Oakland, you're from a specific part of Oakland. West Oakland, East Oakland, North Oakland, and then it's a whole other thing.
So I feel like anytime I meet people from the Bay, it's a very specific brand.
Yes.
What would you do? What would you say to someone like to describe like what it's like to be you, grow up like where you grew up and everything like that?
I feel like I had to fight to always say like, I'm from East Oakland, 82nd of Agartha, da 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 da. Not even like hand movements like how LA people do it. It's just more so, look, I'm from Oakland. I was raised on this block. I live by this school. Yeah, I didn't go to Castlemont. My parents sent me to a Catholic school, but because they wanted me to have a good education, like all of that, having to explain myself and having to prove my ghetto-ness / educated self, because I've had two parents who both were educators and involved in nonprofit stuff.
Wait, so why did you have to like prove that all the time? What would happen if someone was like, no?
Literally, I almost fought them. And like some of my friends had to basically explain to them, like, no, she really is from East Oakland. She is from that part. Yes, she is. It's just she's well educated and she didn't get to hang out with us like everybody else did because she had a curfew.
Oh man, I think of when I think of like Oakland, I think of just General Bay, and I think of I honestly think of music and dancing and like just like the chillest. Like you're an amazing dancer, Kristina. Okay, confession, Christina's one of my best friends. So I know her, and it's one of these where I know the person. I mean, I know some of the people, but I really know you. So you're an amazing dancer. How did you become such a like? Is this just like the Oakland in you, or like did you train? Like, how are you like this awesome dancer? And I'm not even gonna get into the depths of like your awesomeness of dancing, but we'll start there.
I was one of those kids who took dance class, of course, but I also thought I wanted to be a dancer, and a child of the mid 80s to 90s, I was a part of the generation where MTV had all these like, let's show you how to do the dance move from this video. And making the video, like I was that person who taped those on my VHS recorder, and I actually went back and learned the dances from the VHS like recordings of the videos. And
I used to do that too.
yeah, I wanted to be I was a perfectionist. As much as I don't want to be a perfectionist, I wanted to be a perfectionist. So when I went to a party, I'd be like, I got you. Open, park the seas. I got this. Like all of that. I just wanted to show people like the continuous thing of just like, I had to prove myself. I had to continuously prove myself, because also another thing about me is I'm an only child, and I also was the girl of the family, because all my cousins were boys, and all my girl cousins were in Arkansas. And then I was I was stuck in Cali like, hi, Arkansas cousins. I don't know when the next time I'll meet you, but I'm gonna hang in here with the boys. So I had something to prove and have something special to like give to people.
So I feel like one of the most beautiful things about your dancing is the fact that you are not afraid of a dance off.
I'm not.
You're not. You're not. And you will murder it. I've seen it happen. I wish like the word interesting isn't good enough. It's like the bombs are crushed, fireworks are going. It's like, oh snap, it's really happening right now.
And it's so funny because I'm just like, I don't know if you were there with me that one time. For people who don't know, there's a summer series called The Do-Over. And I remember that used to be my place to do dance-offs. And I remember one time I was like, somebody offered me a water because they were like, you were so good, I had to get you a water. And this guy comes up to me, he was like, hey, you want to be a part of our crew? I was like, what? He was like, yeah, we're doing America's Best Dance Crew next season. You want to join? I was like, I'm not that kind of dancer. I'm cool, but thank you.
Do you know what crew it was?
No, I don't. I was just more
Kristina,
like, oh, really? I faked it that hard that I was that good?
yo, you could learn some choreography.
I could, but that's not the path God chose for me. So yeah, I don't want to block nobody's blessing.
You don't want to stop them from being great. They'd be like, we got this girl at this show, this like hangout. She can't even learn this choreo. Do you remember your first dance off?
It's actually on videotape. Like in my birth, I think it was my third or fourth birthday. And it was, of course, to like a Bobby Brown hit. And I was hitting it. I was hitting them some shoulders and elbows real quick. Of course, in the pigtails and my little dress that my mom had me in. I remember that vividly because I was just like, I'm about to show these mothers. I'm about to get it. I was always that kid. I was just like, you about to learn today. You gonna learn today.
Who were you battling?
I was battling my cousins and my friends at the daycare center.
Did you win though?
I probably did.
Something tells me you did because I don't think those kids had the mind that you had at the time. They thought they were playing with it and you were there to destroy them.
Yeah, I get that from my dad.
Your dad's a big competitor?
Hell yeah. And when he gets really like really salty.
What is one of your favorite childhood memories?
I think one of my favorite childhood memories was when my grandfather was alive. Me and our church he was a part of, we would go to Allensworth. And Allensworth is a small Black town that a lot of people don't know about. It's one of the first Black towns in California. And we used to take a trailer with the family and go every year for I think like a couple of days. It was like my first kind of camping experience. And I hated it, but I loved it at the same time because for me, it was just kind of being with him and being with my family. But I think especially being with him, I really love my grandfather. And again, it's like yesterday, like he passed away. Like I'll cry hard tears. But I love remembering that moment and that road trip because I don't get to do a lot of road trips anymore. I don't get that experience that I had when I was a kid.
So we're in quarantine right now, and you specifically are in it in LA. What is something that you've discovered about yourself and your life during this time?
I think the one thing I've learned is just about putting into practice the things that I learned when I was in therapy. Right now, I'm transitioning into finding another therapist because my therapist ended up moving to another Kaiser facility, and there are of course, no other Black therapists at the Kaiser in Hollywood. But one of the things that she got me doing, and she always tried to get me to do, is read this book. I want to show you this book. What is it? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I didn't know until I finally read the book, it was all the things she was trying to teach me of just, finding your peace, having a schedule, praying, whatever you need to do to be in alignment with processing your own goals and your own mental health is just like finding out what's great for you and trying it out, seeing if it works. If it doesn't work, it goes out the door. And then I have a calendar, this whiteboard calendar that's 7 days. And every day I write things that I want to do, or of course they're scheduled. And I try to follow them. And I think one of the things that I've been a little bit more consistent with is I get up in the morning and I pray and I meditate. And I do a devotional. And then the rest of the day is work, of course. But also, what is one other thing that I want to do? I built a bike over quarantine. Why? I just did it. I built a bike, so I'm trying to maintain more time towards biking and joining bike clubs. And then also reading. I have a whole stack of books that my parents are about to throw out. And of course, they're all Black books. They're just like, oh, we don't need these Malcolm X speeches. We don't need that anymore. I'm like, oh, thank it. So just that's a word, enveloping myself in just doing the things that I've wanted to do for a long time and trying, working to keep a consistency of learning new things and delving into, okay, what do I want to do today that's going to help me progress and be a better person and be kind to myself. I think that's another thing. I know this is a very long answer, but at the end of the day, I want to be kind to myself. Like I haven't been, because as the start of quarantine, I got dumped and it sucked real hard. And I found like after I ended up finally talking to the guy about finding an inner peace within me, with again reading the book, doing prayer and meditation in the morning, I think it's being kind to myself and not being hard on myself, which seems to be a lot easier during quarantine than in regular pre-COVID life, if that makes sense.
Why do you think that?
I think now I have time. I mean, I don't have time, but I do have time because I'm not spending time on the road going to and from work. I'm, I don't have to worry about just other things I have to deal with me leaving the house. I'm here in my space and I'm finally getting comfortable in my space of being home and being enlightened. And what can I learn today? What can I do to make my life feel better and not just think it? How about I do it?
So, kind of a starting theme I heard you say was having to like prove yourself. Do you feel like you're still having to prove yourself?
I still do feel like I have to prove myself a little bit just because I'm in the entertainment industry. I'm working to write and direct for TV. And that's a consistent path of your freelancer having to prove that you're good enough to get the job. And I feel as though it's an essential piece for me to be able to do that elevator pitch every single time to prove that, yeah, I know how to work. I know how to write. No, I haven't been in a room as a staff writer yet, but I can pitch my booty, y'all. That kind of thing. And maybe after we have this conversation, I'm staffed, I might have a whole different idea of what proving myself means.
What is your idea of what it means right now?
It's getting the job. It's getting the job to get closer to my dreams of having the house. I'm not that big on the car thing like everybody else. I got my Honda. I'm good. I love that little four-door little black thing. But my goal has always been the house shows me all the work that I've done has got me this. Yes, the husband, the kids, and the family. I'm already knowing that's coming, but I feel as though from what my parents have taught me, having a home, that's your safe place. That's mine. That's something I've worked for, and like even like envisioning the garden in the back in the backyard and having people just like congregate and just possibly barbecue. I don't know how the vegan barbecue looks like, but just having the house where I can have everybody come together. It's very like over the Tuscan sun, whatever. But I do want a place where people can come and feel safe because I try to have that in every space that I've had, but I've been in apartments. And so it's always shared with someone. And if I'm going to share with someone, it would be my husband and my kids. Or if not yet, it will be with me.
So, when you look at yourself and you see yourself, what do you see? Like, how would you describe yourself? Like, who are you?
I am someone that is obscenely unique and very defined by the principles and morals of what I've been raised on and some of the things I've learned over time. Because yes, the first thing you probably know about me is I'm Christian. I'm from Oakland. But other than that, I strive on learning people and understanding where they come from before judging them. And I strive to be as open as I can and learn more and not always have the answer up front, but always tending to be educated first above all things.
What is something that people get wrong about who you are?
It's funny that you asked that because my fellow mentee in the Women in Film Directing Mentorship Program, I told her the other day, one of my friends called me crazy. And I know a lot of my friends, you probably have heard them say, "Oh, Kristina's crazy. She crazy." But people tend to take that and make it into a bad thing, and then tend to just put that as a thing of just like, don't mess with her. You can't mess with her because she's crazy. She's not about this life, about like leading a comfortable, sane life. And it's not even that. I'm not even that. And then also people define me by being a Christian. It's just like, oh, we can't mess with her. We can't say bad words. We can't, oh, she thinks we're going straight to hell kind of thing. And it's not even that. If you knew me, I'm the first person to just be like, I'm trying not to judge you. Tell me who you are. But if you try to hurt me, oh yeah, I'm gonna judge the heck out of you. I'm gonna be like, take a few steps back, and we're not gonna talk again. Bye. But I try to pride myself on being someone who was raised by two parents that pressed upon me to be educated by people before judging them and taking into consideration like the things that they have gone through. And also, I don't know what they have gone through. So always trying to treat people with kindness. And I don't think a lot of people get to see that a lot, because either they'll get me at a bad moment where they'll see me go really hard for someone, or just try to fight for something that I believe in. And people take that the wrong way.
How do you feel being a Black woman has defined like the way you lived your life or your identity?
I feel like being a Black woman has always defined me when I came to LA. Like, I went to Howard, yes, Black as hell. I felt all that when I was in DC. That was actually the first time that I was actually called the N word. And I was like, oh, I'm Black. I know that sounds really weird, but it's just, again, I'm from Oakland. I was raised with so many different cultures, so many different kinds of people, that it wasn't like every day was like, I am Black, you are white, you are Native, you are this. It was really not that. Like, I'm really, I hope people don't think I'm ignorant to that, but it was just like, it didn't matter. It was just people being people. And I was just like, oh, they have this in their culture. Cool. But then it was just like, when I moved out to LA, it was like a whole nother world of just like, you are Black. And there are different ways of how people are going to see you. And I saw that a lot when I was in the USC grad school, of how they deemed me the radical Black girl, and another Black guy who barely said anything, like the good Black man. And it was accepted by white people. And it frustrated me because for a long time, it made me feel like I can't be Black. I can't be this. I can't be this type of Black woman. I have to be the obedient Black woman that people want me to be, and that they don't want to stereotypically see me. And if I'm stereotypically that Black woman who's loud and brash and out there, it just already like programmed in their mind of, oh, we already knew. We knew she was gonna be that Black woman. Oh, that's gonna be my sister girl. That kind of thing. And I just wanted to be me. I didn't want to be Black Kristina. I didn't want anything within the sentence to be Black. This is who Kristina is. Kristina is Black, African American, super Black. I didn't want any of that, because in LA, I felt like I was being erased because I was put the color with my name. But now during quarantine, now I just don't care. Yeah, I'm Black. Yeah, I'm a woman. Yeah, I'm Christian. Yeah, I'm for the rights of the LGBTQIA community. I am someone who is an advocate of Black Lives Matter. I am someone who wants to fight against people who are amongst the low class and who are homeless. I want to help people. I don't want people thinking because they put me in the Black category that they can deem me ignorant, crazy, and all these other negative things. I think it's now just empowered me to be in my own world of, I forgot who said it. You put your crown on your head and don't let somebody like tilt that crown to the side. You fix it up and you just like, yep, this is me. I'm Black as fuck. And my name is Kristina Taurus. I know that's still stupid, but I'm now like, you know what? I'm gonna stop being the quiet Black girl. I'm gonna just be me.
Kristina,
Mm-hmm.
I know you. When have you been quiet?
I've been quiet in my jobs.
Really?
Yeah, because the one time where they see me get Black, it's like, oh, see, that's why we can't trust her. Oh, she's one of those ghetto girls. It's that label, that negative label that's just like, damn, I can't even just be Kristina. I have to be the labeled girl. And I hate it. I hate it so much. And I talked to my mentor, my mentor and I have talked about it a lot, especially since Lovecraft Country has come out. And it's, yeah, a lot of discussions.
What is something you don't think I know about you? Or I guess it's something that you know I don't know about you. It's not like I secretly know something about you. I'm like, oh, you didn't think I know that? I knew that, girl. Or just like something about who you are as a person that you think I, as someone who calls herself your friend, doesn't know about you.
You know everything.
Okay, I was trying with that question. I didn't know. You know, sometimes, you know, you'll be like, well, I feel like, I don't know. You may not have an answer and it's totally okay.
No, because I'm just like, I've told you everything. There's only so many people. This is how I'm a true testament to being a Taurus. And I've realized this. Yes, I'm Christian, but I do believe that they are their signs. There are people, and sometimes of the winter season, summer season, they are definitely who they say they are. And I am someone who is, yes, I'll tell you a lot. I'll tell you a lot about myself, but I won't tell you the secret, emotional, family things that I've gone through. That's not for you to know. Maybe that's the thing. I tell people my business, but I don't tell everybody my personal business because they don't get that part of my world. I've learned that as I got older. They don't get to be a part of my story where they judge me off of what I tell them. Because it ruined one relationship with one of my friends because she took it upon herself to let me know every time how she felt. And as we have learned within our friendships, sometimes we just are like, look, this is where we don't agree on, and I'm not going to touch it. But this one relationship, I was just like, see, now you made me want to talk about you, and you don't want me to do that. Because when I get angry, I tell people the truth, and I don't care. Like, I'll care a day after and apologize. But if I told you, don't go there, don't do it. Very Black girl. Don't do it. If you say that thing, I'm about to go. I'm about to go in. And they say that thing, I'm just like, well, let me tell you about yourself. So we're gonna go to A, B, C, all the way to Z. Because if you want to tell me about myself, then you better be ready to hear about yourself as well.
Oh, okay. Ugh, I got chills. I hope I never have to hit A, B through Z. I mean, damn, I didn't even know I had A through Z.
Because people think that you don't listen to them. I'm like, I listen. I'm one of those friends that actually listens. And so don't put me in that situation where you're trying to tell me who I am. I'm like, oh, you want to, let's go down your list kind of thing.
What is something that you feel like a lot of people don't know about you?
I think a lot of people judge me on my social media account sometimes. Like recently, my friend thought I was gay because I posted about, exactly. She thought because I posted about LGBTQ rights that I was gay. Now, someone who knows me, I have a lot of gay friends. I support everybody. And it was frustrating because it was just like, so I have to be gay to put up posts about gay people getting healthcare? It's almost like, so I gotta be black to put a Black Lives Matter post? Like sometimes I have to remind myself, like, again, it's so stupid. I know it's so stupid. But my friends are not like me. This is why we're friends, because we're different. And this is what makes me educated about certain things I didn't know, or that, oh, people have an opinion about this. I'm not going to hate on them. I'm just like, that's what they are. That's what their opinions are. And I have to realize some people, until they talk to me, they'll know what I'm about and who I am. And if they never do, that just makes them ignorant to the part of me that they could get to know and love.
If you had the attention of the entire world, what would you say?
Vote for Biden and Kamala. And also defund the police and break down why defunding the police is a good thing.
Well, why don't we just go ahead and let the world know? You tell us why defunding the police is a good thing. I want you to, take a little bit. It's your platform.
I think a lot of people, like, there's a show called Uncoded. I think it's Decoded. With a Black woman from MTV, and she broke it down, and I even loved it because she was speaking fast, but she was breaking it down. But defunding the police is just basically saying, hey, we don't need the police officers for everything. We don't need them to come check on people who have mental health issues. We don't need them taking care of the homeless when they don't even know how to interact with homeless people who have mental health reasons, have mental health conditions, and they don't know how to sometimes, well, no, they don't know how to deal with understanding how to break up fights. Sometimes it's not them. Sometimes that's a whole mental thing that psychiatrists and psychologists would be a part of. And I recently learned they've done that in Eugene, Oregon, where they actually, instead of the police picking up those calls that deal with like suicide or mental health things, they have a hotline dedicated for therapists and other mental health facilities to help like stop those situations from happening and like stop people from committing suicide, or just like if you're someone who has a disability, they're the ones that answer those calls instead of the police, who can't handle that. Because the whole thing with defunding the police is taking the pressure off of police handling calls that they're not prepared for. Because it's just like, why are you going to help someone who is having a breakdown? You ain't educated in that. you don't know about that life. But like, somebody's trying to murder me, yeah, call the police. That's what the police are for. But also educational facilities, like all those things, all that funding could go to education, could go to housing for homeless people. A lot of people don't know that, but a lot of the international countries, they already have that established. And also I learned a new thing too about traffic accidents and stuff like that. Do you know that other than an international country, they actually have traffic police where they actually specifically only handle traffic accidents? They handle like if traffic lights go out. They handle just like if anything has to do with an accident and your insurance is supposed to take care of, they're already there. They at the counter waiting for you. Instead of the police coming and having to handle that because they don't know what to do. They can't fix a car. There's people that actually have a job to do that. That's what defunding the police is. And it's not, yes, it's about money, but at the same time, it's like, look, we're trying to help you not get stressed out, because that stress has killed all of our Black and brown people. And I really don't think they understand. A lot of them don't. And we don't want them to hurt. I hate to sound very cheesy, but it's just like, we want you to be in a position where you can help us and we feel secure in calling you, and not feel afraid when we call you that you're going to get there and you're going to shoot us 7 times in the back with our kids in the car. And I don't understand. This is why I didn't want to become a lawyer, because these are some of the things that I would prosecute the hell out of. But I just think the whole thing with politicians and the police department has really gotten, this is why I hate politics. I understand the game that they have to play, because at the same time they need money for their elections every year or every 2 to 4 years, but they got to think outside themselves and the money aspect. They really have to think about their community. And I know you've heard as well, police officers don't live in the same area that they patrol, and that doesn't help either. And it's a proven fact and statistics. If a police officer lives in the same city that they are working, there's less murders, there's less crime, and there's less just violence, because they know those people, and they can just be like, look, Haley, I told you, your mom said you can't go outside, so why you got a gun? What we doing? What we doing, Karen? Like, it's for the betterment of our environment. Don't we want that?
That's good. Come on, Kristina. Okay. Right before I get you to go, I know that was the last question, but Kristina's an amazing singer. Kristina, sing me something. Do it, Kristina. Sing something.
I don't know what to sing.
You can sing. Just pick something. Go. Mary Had a Lamb.
Mary had
no. Sing it in your singing voice. Don't you do it in that voice.
I really don't. You put me on the spot.
You want me to pick a song for you?
Sure.
I'm gonna do Shaka. Sweet Thing.
I love you anyways, even if I cannot stay. I think you are the one for me. Here is where you want to be. Okay, that's it. I didn't have my tea this morning. I didn't do my vocal.
It's okay. I don't care. You know what? I don't care. If somebody say anything about the way you sing, I will punch them in their face, in my brain. And I'll give them my verbal words. Do not speak about my friend, because she was brave enough to do it on the spot, even when she wasn't ready. And Kristina is always brave.
You can't say that, because God would be like, Donna,
you are brave. Every day you face the day, you are brave.
Then that means you're brave as well.
I know. Duh. I'm not like fighting against that. Thank you.
You're welcome.